The body of the grasshopper is done with a raised stem band, and we did this in the stitch wheel, so if you need further help with it, have a look at that video. I've come up just below the head here, and we're going to couch down a piece of wool. I'm using standard double knitting wool, and we're going to do a double width and start by just couching down that loop there at the top. And if we can, we're going to put one on top of the other and then come up at one side of the body and go down on the other. And you can use any wool really, as long as it's thick enough to go across, and as long as you can see your stitches against it, but don't use anything too dark, so neutral colour is best. And these stitches are going to be laid across from one side of the body on the line to the other. Like that, and they want to be equidistant if you can, not too close together because we're going to weave into them. And when we get about 2/3 of the way down, we're going to cut one of the pieces of wool off. So the one that's more underneath, just cut off the end there. And that's because we want the bottom of the body to be thinner. So carry on. And that's going to be my last one. So again, cut off the wool just beyond that final stitch there at the end of the tail. And now we're going to change over to a tapestry needle. If you're right-handed, come up just at the start of the body here, and we're going to be weaving from right to left under these stitches, keeping your thread at the bottom. So it's a stem stitch action. Always keep your thread at the bottom. If you're left-handed, you'll start here and keep your thread at the top. And the final one. And then we're going to take the needle down at the end of the tail and weave back up and start another row immediately on top of the previous one. So just next to, really, I say on top, but just next to. So now weave again. And we want to always start from the left and go to the right. Keep your thread at the bottom. Don't worry if you've got gaps here. As you do more rows, you can nudge them further down and then take a stitch down, weave back through your stitches at the back and start again. And we're going to cover the wool completely. And what you'll find is that you'll fill up the area down here first. So you just go as far as you can. I'm going to do a little more now, and then I will return. As a left-hander, you would start here and stitch from right to left and keep your thread at the top. So your action would be like that. And you want your needle to go above that thread there. So that would be your action. And through the line there that you've made. Now change to your crewel needle, and you should be able to see little indentations from where your original lines were and where your weaving was. So we're going to now take a straight stitch over those lines and try and pull them in a little bit. I think that looks more insect-like. So right to the edge. Don't come up too far to the outside of that line, right to the edge of your stitching, and tuck the needle in on the other side so you can pull it a little bit. There we go. Now I think the shape of the head is quite important to get right. It's almost like a little leaf shape, and you've got his chin right at the bottom. So I've done a split back stitch outline, and we're just going to do a satin stitch as usual across the shape. starting in the centre. So I'm going outside my split backstitch outline. We're going to put a French knot eye in a minute. Let's just do these antennae while we've got the thread. What should we do? Split backstitch. Now the legs, look carefully where they go. This one is going to start in the middle of the body, and we're going to just do a split backstitch to start with. And then down, and just go into the same hole at the top there. And we're going to go all the way across the body. So that's one leg. Now the back leg, let's do a little bit here, goes behind. So just take that to there. And then come up and down to go behind. And now we can add the other legs. You can travel across the back and do these ones here. And just to finish, a 1 wrap French nut on top of the head at the top end for the eye. And there's the grasshopper done.